Welcome to the Garden City Community Chat Show, episode number 607, with your hosts Carrie, Tom, and Mike. And now, Garden City Community Chat.
Well, hello, Garden City and all our surrounding communities. This is episode number 607. Welcome to the Garden City Community Chat Show. It's Thursday, January 19th, 2023. We're so happy you could be with us tonight. We hope you're all safe and doing well. I am your host, Carrie. Also joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Garden City's very own meteorologist, Dr. Tom Mywinski. Tom, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys tonight? A little rainy out there.
Yeah, doing good. Yeah. Would like to see the sun. Been a while.
Yeah, tune in June.
Also, former city councilman and past president of Garden City Kiwanis, Mr. Mike Jones. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing excellent, Carrie, but I'm improving.
Awesome. Hey, tonight we're happy to welcome our recently sworn-in State Representative Dylan Wegela. He will be here shortly to talk about his new committee assignments, his priorities for this, his first term, and also answer any questions that you may have. So be sure to put them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to get them up and answered for you. Now, our question for tonight is, do you follow your local politics? Do you follow your local politics? I know we do, don't we, Mike? Tom, you do, right?
Oh, occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. So put your answers in the comment section, and I'll be putting them up on the screen throughout the show. First up, Tom will be here with the latest weather, like we said. He's going to give us your latest update. And then, Mike, you're going to close out the show with some community announcements, as always. You can write your questions and comments in the comment section. If you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, you can also text your questions to 734-788-9319. We also want to take a quick minute to say thank you to all of you who listen and support us every Thursday night, not only from our hometown of Garden City, but several of our surrounding communities as well. Also, a shout out to all the snowbirds in Florida that listen and watch us, and our good friend John Quinn in Phoenix. And we can't forget Dave A.C. Cooper in the United Kingdom. Hello, Dave. We really appreciate everyone's support. And remember, we'll always continue to promote our community and yours. And speaking of community, if your organization or business has any events or announcements or cancellations that you would like to get out to our listeners, what should they do, Mike?
The best way would be to email us, Carrie.
Exactly. Email the details to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook at facebook.com/gcchat. And Mike will be more than happy to pass that information along.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get Tom in here now to find out if we might ever see the sun again. And then we'll spend some time chatting with State Representative Dylan Wegela. So stand by for Tom.
Okay, let's do a check on with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
Well, what do you think?
Mike may not be too far off. I mean, we may have to wait a while. I don't really see the sun coming back for quite a while, actually. And I actually do see a little bit of a pattern shift starting to develop. So if you've been kind of not wanting kind of this dreary, rainy weather, there are changes on the horizon. And we could potentially get back into more of a winter-like pattern. This is pretty much late at this point. I mean, we're already kind of toward the end of January, and we haven't really seen a whole lot of snow accumulating here in Michigan, especially down here around Detroit. So yeah, it's been kind of an odd winter so far. Some people probably aren't complaining too much, but some people might if you kind of do like the snow. I know a couple people do, but yeah, for kind of speaking for tonight, we have been dealing with kind of this band of rain has been moving in this evening. This band is a little bit on the heavier side. This will continue over the next couple hours before kind of moving out and kind of falling apart as the system continues to move through the region. Overall, we will kind of still stay a little bit on the wet side tonight. After this initial heavy burst of rain moves through, we'll probably deal with a little bit of lighter rain all throughout the night. And we're going to kind of stay right above freezing. So this rain will pretty much be the dominated precip type until we get into kind of tomorrow morning. We could deal with a little bit of colder air toward dawn. So some of this rain could start to mix over to a little bit of snow. But given kind of how wet it's been and marginal temperatures, there's no concern for any accumulations of snow. It's just going to be kind of mixing in and briefly changing over to a little bit of wet snow tomorrow into tomorrow morning before kind of wrapping up by the time we get into the afternoon hours. But overall, I'm not expecting any accumulations of snow. Temperatures will remain above freezing during this entire time, but they'll be cold enough for that rain to briefly change over to a little bit of snow. So that's kind of been the name of the calling card this winter, just marginal temperatures. I mean, yeah, we saw a little bit of snow here and there this winter, but temperatures have just been too marginally cold enough for it to really stick around for too long. So this is going to be this kind of calling card with this system. I know earlier in the week we dealt with a little bit of a rainy system moving through as well. So kind of a rainy week on tap that we had, and changes are going to be kind of unfolding as we kind of get into the weekend and into the following week. We're going to get a little bit on the colder side onto more of a consistent basis. We're going to see temperatures probably get into more of a consistent pattern of 20s and 30s for high temperatures. So going to bring down the peg down a little bit with temperatures on more of a consistent basis for the rest of the month. And with that cold air moving in, we will probably begin to see more in the way of accumulated snow than rain. So we're going to kind of break this down as we kind of get into the weekend. So as we get into Saturday, again, not a whole lot in the way of sunshine, a little bit on the cloudier side to start the weekend. But overall temperatures are going to be much colder. We're probably going to be dealing with temperatures into kind of the mid to upper 30s for high temperatures. So pretty much staying on the cold side during the daytime hours and continuing into the overnight hours. And then as we kind of get into Sunday, that's when we're going to see our next system move into our neck of the woods, and we're going to see a little bit of snow with this. Again, temperatures are going to be marginal, but they're going to be enough to produce snow. We'll probably be seeing less than an inch of snow with this system, with temperatures just above freezing, but enough accumulating snow continuing over an extended period of time that we'll see a little bit of accumulations, especially kind of on your grassy surfaces throughout the day on Sunday. So overall, that's going to be kind of our next system that we're going to be dealing with. And then it's going to be winding down Sunday night during the evening, and then pretty much ending as we kind of get into Monday. By the time we get into next week, this colder pattern will continue. We're going to see temperatures on Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, continuing to be into the 30s. Pretty quiet for Monday and Tuesday standards, just cloudy, cold temperatures in the 30s and 20s for overnight lows. But by the time we get into Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're going to see our next system begin to move in. Again, this will be cold enough for it to produce snow. We'll probably see our second round of accumulating snow as we kind of get into that time frame. Right now, it's a little too far out to pinpoint the exact totals with the system. But if we get enough cold air wrapped into the system, we could definitely see probably a couple inches of snow with the system moving through. So we're now starting to get into this time frame of accumulating snow here in Michigan. I know it took its sweet time. I know this is probably not what some people want to say, but this is actually fairly normal for this time of year. This is actually well below average. We haven't really seen much in the way of snow this winter. So it's just actually getting back on track to what we have been dealing with. So we're going to be kind of watching that system on Sunday for a little bit of snow, and then again Tuesday night to Wednesday for more snow into next week. So we'll keep you updated on that front. And then after that system moves through, by the time we get into Thursday and Friday of next week, we'll be dealing with high temperatures, getting back down into the 20s. So getting much colder behind this behind this storm system midweek, and then lows probably getting into the lower 20s to upper teens. So bringing in that colder air behind the system. So we'll keep you updated. Obviously, there's a lot to shake out as we get into the weekend and into next week, but the overall consensus is that we're going to get more into a colder pattern and more of a snowier pattern to end the month of January. So that's kind of where we're at with all that. Other than that, been fairly active across the U.S. weather-wise. There's been a lot of snow in certain parts of the U.S. Into the Northeast. Well to the north across northern Michigan as well, been dealing with the snow. So we've been kind of in that sweet spot where we're just dealing with kind of some dreary, cloudy, rainy weather with some just cold rain out there. But other than that, the weather's just been fairly active all across the U.S. But if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com, and it will keep you updated as winter makes a comeback to end the month of January.
Yeah, I got all the website over there and check it out right there. It's up on the screen. So yeah, real user friendly too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hurting the snow plowers, that's for sure, who make a living at this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got some comments in there. I want to bring in.
Hopefully not hate comments about the snow.
Well, we got Patty Fix in there. We got our number one fan, Kathy Ward's in there. How you guys doing? Garden City Fire Chief Kathy Harmon's in there. She says we follow local politics. Okay. Barb Reddy's in there. How you doing, Barb? Good to see you. Michael Bengal, he's back. He goes, he promises to be nice tonight. He does follow politics. I know that, our local politics. Shannon Coffey from Notary Babe, she's in there. She feels sorry for the landscapers having to pay on that winter equipment. The season's really hurting her son's income. Yeah, it's been tough. It's well below, isn't it, Tom?
Oh, absolutely. But hopefully, as we get into next week, it'll start to use this.
Yeah. Former Mayor Randy Walker's in there. How you doing, Randy? Good to see you. Mrs. Chad is in there. She says hello, everybody. So we got quite a few in there. Let's see what else we got. A couple more. No, can't see their names, but good to have you. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's see. I want to mention real quick, if you are a small business owner and you'd like to be featured on our show, please contact us by emailing us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We are here for you and would love to have you on the show and be a part of promoting your business for you. We also encourage any local business to check out the Garden City Business Alliance, which is recognized as the Chamber for Garden City. For more information, go to gardencitybusinessalliance.org. All right, let's introduce our guest for tonight. He was just sworn in as state representative recently to represent Garden City, Inkster, southeast part of Westland, and the northeast part of Romulus. Please welcome State Representative Dylan Wegela. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. First off, I just want to say thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Even the clerk of the house is having a little bit of a hard time.
Really?
Yeah. It's common, but it's been a ride. It's been about 7 months since I've been on or so.
About that, yeah. You did rather well. You did rather well in the election.
Yeah, and it's I'm just excited to get to work, and I'm really excited. I'm sure you're aware. For the first time in 40 years, Democrats control the House, Senate, and the governorship. So I think we should see some legislation move. early would be my guess.
We're going to get into a couple of issues that were presented already, and but first, I just had a couple of slides here I wanted to put up. Of there you are being sworn in.
Yeah, and actually, those are actually two of my students holding the Michigan Constitution.
Really?
My parents behind them on the right, and then my wife is to my right, screen left.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. And there you are. That's the oath of office they give you, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's the oath of office. And strangely enough, I didn't know this going into it, but there are 3 swearing ins. You have your, this is my official one, the one that counts. Then you have the ceremonial one on opening day. And then we did a ceremonial one in district just last weekend, I think.
Wow. Wow. Busy. And then there you are. I guess that's your desk that you're going to have.
Yes, this is opening day. And then if you can see kind of on the right side, those are our buttons that we vote on. So,
oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not too far from the action.
Not too far. I actually feel kind of lucky. I have some great seatmates, but then I'm also on the aisle. So, there's a lot of time to kind of build relationships, really, is what the way I'll put it.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Well, you got to work across the aisle. That's for sure.
Yes, I agree.
So the Michigan Democrats unveil a bill to repeal the retirement tax finally. Yay.
Yes.
The new Democratic leaders have included repealing the right to work law as well. Now, where do you stand on that? First off, let's comment on the retirement tax.
Yeah, I think, the retirement tax was put in under Republican leadership. Gosh, was that 2015 or before then? Either way, what had happened then was the corporate tax rate got lowered. And I believe, my analysis on it, one of the ways to make that tax up, they ended up putting the pension tax in place. So clearly one of the things at the doors, and I knocked 10,000 of them. So whether you were Democrat, Republican, or independent, definitely repealing the retirement tax was something that people wanted. And it makes sense. Seniors at oftentimes, you work your whole life, you deserve to have that income. So that's something I co-sponsored. I actually co-sponsored all 6 of the first Democratic bills. But this is one that I hope we move on quickly. And then hopefully we can get immediate effect on that so that it happens immediately and not down the road. So we'll have to see what happens. It should save about, I want to say what I've heard is about $1,000 per family that it would affect.
Yeah, average. Yeah. Well, hey, every little bit helps. That's for sure. I know we've been talking about this a long time on this show, haven't we, Mike?
We have. I hope your pension tax will include private pensions as well as public ones.
Yeah, that's important too.
It's pretty encompassing, and I think we will probably see action on it. I would imagine. I don't know. I'm not the speaker. It's speaker kind of dictates that, but I think it'll be sooner rather than later would be my guess.
So, okay, let's talk about the right to work law now. That's they want to repeal that as well. Gretchen Whitmer, she says she wants to get it done. Where do you stand on that?
A while.
Yeah, so my background, and I think I mentioned this last time, I'm an educator, but I did serve 2 years as a union president in the most right to work of all states, or right to work for less is what I like to call it, Arizona, where union membership is much lower. And, what happens, I think, right to work was designed, in my opinion, to make it harder for labor unions to be sufficient and bargain and fight for wages and fight for safety conditions. So the way I see it is it's an institutional strengthening of our labor unions, which over time will strengthen the rights that workers have, their wages in their companies. And I think it's a win. So it's something I co-sponsored, and I am, out of all of the first 6 bills, this is the one I'm most excited about, because if you look at the trends over the last, I want to say 20, 30, 40 years, the union membership has gone down, and what's happened in reverse is the wealth of the 1% in our country has gone skyrocketing up. Yeah. And it makes sense. It's unions. It's about working together. It's about making the workplace democratic, and it's about fairness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. Governor Snyder signed that into law, which will protect workers supposedly in the state from being forced to pay union dues as a requirement of employment.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about it is, it's allowing people not to pay dues, but to still benefit from the work of the union and the contracts, which it doesn't seem like a very fair system to me. And I truly believe unions are powerful ways for people to make their voices heard in their works of employment. And I heard that at the doors a lot as well. Again, Republicans, Democrats, Independents in Garden City, we have a huge union population, and it's something that I think people are really looking forward to.
Okay. So you said that you co-sponsored 6 bills, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
What are the other ones that you are involved in?
Yeah, so the other ones it's increasing the earned income tax credit, the EITC, or what I think is better referred to as the working families tax credit.
Right.
So the exact details I'd have to check, but I believe it's something like this. Essentially, for families that earn under $59,000 a year, we'll see further tax cuts in the coming years, about another $1,000 per family. So I think this is something that will provide relief right now for a lot of our working families, and will directly affect residents in our district, because out of all of the districts in the state, we're one of the most working class districts. Garden City's median income per person is about $31,000. In Inkster, it's $21,000. Westland and Romulus are about 30. So most of our residents will be directly impacted by this. So I felt good signing on to this. I will be honest, that's about $1 billion in tax cuts with the two. I think we've got to be mindful that we have schools and roads that we want to fund. So I do want to keep that just out there into the discussion, because taxes aren't bad, right, if they're used the right way.
Yeah. Okay, what are some of the others you had?
Yeah, so some of them are cleaning up old antiquated laws. The 1931 abortion law, even though Prop 3 essentially has made that law irrelevant, we want to clean that up on the books anyway and just make sure we get that off the books. We want to expand
issue.
Yes. Yeah. And we want to expand the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, which will we want it to include sexual orientation and gender identity, to make sure that everybody has civil rights in Michigan protected by law. Again, this is kind of cleaning up language, because the Attorney General's office in Supreme Court this summer kind of fought this out in court and ruled that people are protected anyway under the current language. We just want to expand it to make it more inclusive. And the last one is restoring prevailing wage, to make sure that our workers on public projects and private projects are paid, the union standard wage, making sure that people are not being underbid. Basically, I like to explain this as fair wages for fair work. That's what we're looking forward to doing.
Yeah, I know a lot of restaurant owners don't like that. It puts a lot of burden on them, but like you said, you got to weigh it out, right?
Yeah. So are you referring to minimum wage or the prevailing wage?
The minimum wage is what.
Yeah. So minimum wage is projected to go up. It went up already this year to 10.10, but there's discussion on whether it'll go up further. Before speaking on it, I'd want to review some of the details. But it will be interesting to see how that plays out, and how it does affect restaurants. I think it's something that it's an important discussion, and I think it's something we'll have to kind of see first. I think likely that would go into effect, but I'm curious to see what will happen.
Well, with inflation, wages have to, be competitive. I mean, they got to grow with inflation, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know many places hiring for less than $15 an hour right now anyway.
And they're hurting for workers. Yeah. Really.
I was reading the other day that minimum wage adjusted for productivity over time would be like $21 an hour.
Wow.
Which is pretty interesting to look.
Yeah. All right. I did want to, let's see, I think I got a slide here for, there it is right there. These are the committees that you're on. This was a press release.
Yes. Yeah. I was really excited about the committees that I got, because one, they're areas of interest and expertise for me. So education and labor are the areas I'm strongest in.
Right. I see you're vice chair of elections, huh? How the
Yes. Yeah.
Already.
I'm honored to be tapped for that, and I think it's funny because while this actually wasn't a committee I requested, it was one that I was put trust in by the speaker to kind of take up in a vice chair role, and I think that's a really important committee especially thinking about the last few years. And we have Penelope Cerniglu is going to be the chair, and I couldn't think of a better person for that. I've only known her a short time, but I look forward to learning that role and supporting to make sure our elections are funded, to make sure that we have safety, and that we have the right to vote. And I think it's something that I'll be able to, and also that we clean some of the stuff up with campaign finance, in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you this. Does the elections committee have anything to do with getting delegates for communities?
That would not, because I think the delegates would fall into kind of the political side of things. So
yeah,
that is something I think we've got to do a better job here in Garden City of doing.
Definitely.
I don't think we have a single delegate right now.
Not one single delegate. And it's been like that for years. So, Mike, I think you were one of the last delegates, right?
Yeah, Paul Werhane and I were both delegates for Precinct 6 for quite a while.
Yeah, Paul's actually in there watching now.
Hi, and Paul. I know Brendan MacArthur is working to organize a Garden City Democratic Club. So
yeah, we had him on. He was on the show a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks ago.
So if anyone is interested, please reach out to me on social media. I'll get you connected. It's been a slow build. I think people are a little bit exhausted from the election cycle, which makes sense, but we want to build now to just make sure our community has a voice. I mean, I'm the first representative out of Garden City, I believe, since Bill Keith back in the 80s.
Wow. Yeah, that's going back. Definitely.
And I'm excited. I'm learning and meeting so many people. We have 4 cities in the district, and I've been really intentional to build relationships with the local government, community leaders in Inkster and Westland and in Romulus. And it's a process. And, I started off having most of the people I know in local government are in Garden City, because that's my community. And even on my birthday, January 27th, I turned 30. And me and my staff are spending it with Doc and Mark Jacobs, getting a tour of all of our facilities. And I toured the fire station last week. So,
yeah, hopefully there's going to be some improvements there, money going there as well.
I hope so. And I think on that note, if there are, we are trying to collect appropriations requests for our district.
Yeah.
So that I can bring them up there and make sure I know what I'm talking about. Part of the reason we're doing these tours, because the reality is sometimes in Lansing, the squeaky wheel. You got to be the squeaky wheel. You got to be. Yep.
And
I need to know, what are our asks. I know Mark Jacobs, our mayor, is requesting that we get some appropriation funds for sidewalks.
Yeah.
And I know our fire station needs some improvements.
Yeah, Chief Harmon's in there. She goes awesome.
We've chatted quite a bit, and I was disappointed in the conditions of our fire station, and I would love to see some improvements there.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Let's see. John Murray is in there. He says prevailing wage and the right to organize are mandated to address economical conductivity. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I think allowing workers to organize is part of democracy. And I think, at the end of the day, a workplace does not profit if workers are not contributing to that profit. And I think we've got to look at making these systems work for the people who are creating the products, that are creating the wealth. And, that I think that means making a fairer society in a lot of ways. I mean, you and Mike are paying the same tax rate in Michigan for income tax as billionaires are. Right. And that's a constitutional amendment we'd have to change.
Some aren't paying any taxes, the billionaires.
Yeah, some of them, that's true. I mean, I don't know if you saw
that. I'm sorry, $750 a year.
Yeah. And I think we're one of 10 states with a flat tax. That's something I hope we can tackle. That's a bigger lift, I think, than anything we've talked about tonight, but it would make us have more funding for schools. And something cool to kind of flag here, for the first time, I believe maybe ever, teachers are in charge of all the education committees.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a first, I think.
And, because we have our senator, Dana Polhanke, is the chair on the Senate side. Okay. And then Matt Colazar out of Plymouth, Livonia, and surrounding areas is the chair on the House side.
And you're the vice chair, probably. Well,
Yeah, and I'm on the education committee. Our vice chair is a teacher as well. Jamie Church is out of downriver area. So I'm excited. I think we're going to finally do some real positive education work and change.
Good.
Michael Bingle says 10.10 an hour is a 1979 wage. I made that working at A&P. That's going way back. But like you said, I don't know very many places that are paying minimum wage. It's higher, really, right? I mean, signing bonuses and at least $15 an hour, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think I read an article that was, I can't remember the exact percentage, but a very low percentage of people are actually at minimum wage right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the minimum wage is so, I think,
Can't live on it.
Yeah, you can't. And especially when, grocery bills, we're paying a couple $100 every time we go.
It's terrible. And same with the restaurants. They just pass it on. I mean, it seems like every time I go into a restaurant, they have a new menu and you can tell they've raised the prices. So, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, even like fast food. So my first job was working at Taco Bell. So one of the things that I'll do every once in a while is I'll eat Taco Bell. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I like the price for like a quesadilla there is twice what it was when I worked at Taco Bell, which was like, in high school. So
yeah,
and that's not, I'm only 29, so it wasn't that long ago.
Wow. 29, huh? Jeez, oh Pete.
It would be 30 at the end of the month.
Yeah. So ethics committee, that's a good one.
I think it's a really important one, especially if you've followed any of the news with our previous Speaker of the House. We've really got to tighten that up.
Yep.
And I look forward to that. So as I've mentioned on here before, I think I'm proud to say I'm one of the few people in Lansing that doesn't accept corporate money at all, which, is a challenge because raising money is important. But I also, I want to make sure I'm representing the people in our community and not corporate interests. So that's something that I've done. People do it other ways, which is fine. But I want to see some changes in the way our lobbyists interact with us, but also in our elections, personally.
And then military veterans and Homeland Security, you may want to reach out to former Mayor Walker, who is now the director, at Wayne County Veterans Affairs.
Yeah,
and our county commissioner, David Knisik, is big in that too.
Right.
Yeah, and my uncle
veterans too.
Was in the Vietnam War and my grandfather in World War II. So it's an area that's near and dear to my heart, but it's also an area that I'm aware, I'm not a veteran. I definitely need to learn more. So I will be looking forward to doing that. And I think in general, one of the things I'm trying to do is not only educate our community and keep people up to date, because I don't think that that's happened in the past 6 years. And then two, I'm creating a community advisory council, trying to bring in leaders from all of the cities in our district so we can work together on stuff and to kind of disseminate information. So I'll be reaching out to some of the local leaders here in Garden City and other cities to do that, because I think our,
Easter's already a couple residents on there too.
Yeah. And, really? We need to make sure that we're working together, because what I learned is we do have some differences with Inkster and Romulus and Westland, but we have a lot of things the same. We're all, I think, struggling just to survive. That's what happens in working class neighborhoods. And we deserve, I think, more attention from Lansing. And I think we amplify that voice if we can get connected.
Right. Speaking of community, so we're going to be seeing you and I hope Senator Pohanke at our council meetings, correct?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously I won't be able to make every single one, but
right.
I'm going to try to make some, and we're going to be doing
more than the previous rep, I would say.
Yeah. We're going to be doing,
you didn't get out of jail for some of them.
Me and Paul Hankey are going to be doing actually some joint coffee hours as well in the city. I think our first one, and we'll have more official news on this later, is going to be the 24th. We're going to do it at a local business, Finjan Cafe on Ford Road. I think it's actually the only coffee shop we have in the city limits.
Well, the Radcliffe Center is very nice now too. You can have something there.
Yeah, we probably will do that as well. I think we're also trying to think like, how can we support the local business?
Yeah, that's great. Yep, I agree.
What was the date on the coffee hour?
The 24th. I don't have the time right now. Actually, I can probably look. We're looking at and this is subject to change, but what we have on the calendar right now is 10 a.m. on the 24th. And if you're out, follow me on social media, we'll be obviously posting it on there, and so will the senator.
Yeah, if you have a flyer or something, send it along to us and we'll promote it too.
And the way I plan on doing the coffee hours is we're going to do at least one a month, but I'm going to be rotating the city that I do them in, obviously. Inkster's not very far away. Neither is Westland or Romulus. So if I'm having one in those cities, please, you see that for everybody listening, please feel free to come on out. Like I said, I think it's important to kind of hear what our issues are together. But everything's within, I think the furthest place would be like a 15-minute drive. So
yeah,
we're trying to be accessible.
Yeah. Michael Bingle's got a question for you, and it's a good one. What do you think about tax incentives for bringing in new business to Garden City for landlords and passing it on to the renters?
Carrie, maybe do you know a little more of what he's like specifically trying to ask?
Well, trying to get the empty buildings occupied by giving them tax incentives is pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, I think it's a greater discussion. I'm a little bit hesitant. There's so many, I think, qualifiers that we would need first. And I think that might be a local issue for city government to look into. I do know at the state level, they do tax incentives for business, but I personally have been a little bit hesitant about those because we've seen over the last couple of years, sometimes we will give a corporation state dollars. They end up not following through on the promise. Plus, I kind of look at that as a, without getting myself in too much trouble here, but I like corporate welfare. I think there's better uses of our tax dollars sometimes, but locally and small business is different. So I'd be curious to learn more about, is there anything at the state level we can do to entice small business? But locally, that might be a council question.
Yeah, that would probably have to go before our local government. But yeah, it's like the DDA. I mean, we even want to attract business outside the DDA. We don't even know if we have a DDA director yet. Nobody's being very transparent about the situation. We need a marketing director, someone to sell the city, and we're not hearing anything, so it's very frustrating. It's just, frustrating.
Yeah. And there might be, and as I was talking about making connections, this is an issue that at least the part of Westland we represent has. Romulus has this issue in some ways, and so does Inkster. And maybe there's some work that could be done for the region. Because this is a startling statistic about our district, but we have 3 grocery stores and 5 adult entertainment centers.
We have 1 grocery store in Garden City. We had 0, and that's gone. So yeah, I don't get it. And we have prime property right on Ford Road where the OK Mart was. We have the Lincoln Mercury dealer, prime property, and these people are just sitting on this property paying taxes. There's nothing we can do as long as they're paying the taxes.
I would love to see, and I think this would do well here, like a brewery come into Garden City.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. That's a real big
microbrewery.
Yeah, I think it would do great here, and I think the residents would support it. I think there's an opportunity there. I'd be curious to see if anyone jumps on that.
We don't need any more banquet halls. We don't need any restaurants, really. We have a lot of good restaurants, but yeah, that would be something different. I think that would do well.
We don't have any men's clothing stores.
Yeah. I mean, I can't buy a pair of pants in Garden City, that's pretty sad. And now we can't even buy shoes because they retired. So Hershey's gone.
So I do, if you'll give me like just 5 minutes, I do have one of my first bills I'm working on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's related to the district. And I don't know if you're aware of the situation, but in 2013, Inkster Public Schools got into some financial troubles.
Yep.
And there's a whole story that I can't get into on here, but we're hoping to tell this story. And so basically what happened was there was some debt in the district. Emergency managers came in. There was a disagreement between the local community and the state government, and a lot more details that we're going to tell through this process. But the district got demolished, and the city got left with a $15 million bill. And over time, with interest, that bill has went up. Last year, they canceled some of the debt of the district, and there's just a little bit left. And I'm hoping to get the rest of that canceled for the community, because it will help all our surrounding communities as well. But that's going to be one of my first priorities is to go fix that problem. It's one near and dear to my heart because of schools and making sure that we right some of the wrongs of the past. And you'll be seeing more about this, because we want to not only do that, but we want to explain, why does this happen to districts?
Yeah.
How do we prevent it from happening? And how has it affected our community since?
Yeah. Right. And the kids, I mean, where do they go? You know?
Yeah. And
Spread
they,
out
you
all
know,
over. I
and
mean,
it's
it's school of choice. I get it. You know, they can go wherever they want.
and we're lucky here. We have a great school district for our city.
Great.
Because of what happened in Inkster, the kids go to 5 different districts. If you can imagine Garden City being split up into 5 districts, how that would have hurt our community. That's one of the things we're looking into. As well as, I think in general, just having more equitable funding to get our schools what they deserve here in Garden City.
Right. Okay. So since you've been in the legislature, what's the second from across the other side of the aisle? What what's your feeling there, especially after these bills were introduced? Does it look like any of them will work with you, or?
Yeah, I think so. There are some reps
on the block to them, or what?
So I'm somebody who, I might not agree with everybody, but I will always listen to them. And I believe that it is really important to build those relationships, because sometimes people will come up with ideas that everybody will like and that are just good policy. And I would hate for good policy to be stopped because someone has an R next to their name. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I think you can find allies in strange places sometimes. So I think there probably will be times where we'll have Republicans vote with us. There could be times where I vote with Republicans on something, right? It just depends on the issue.
Well, right now, a big issue in the federal government is that debt ceiling now. And boy, I don't know what's going to happen there. That's really, really a shame. It really is.
Yeah. And I hope that we get moving on that quickly.
That affect all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we have till June, maybe?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact date on the top of my head, but
I think it's
That's
June.
what the Treasury Secretary says.
Yeah. Yellen.
Patch things together until June, but
yeah.
It's it seems like there's going to be some hardball played at the federal level.
Republicans are going to want budget cuts on things.
Yeah.
In order to approve that.
So have you met with Senator Pohanki and you guys are going to work together on a few things possibly?
Yeah.
Or?
I think so. Me and Senator Pohanki have a good relationship. We're both educators. I'm excited to work with her. I mean, she's been rocking it on the Senate side, right? She's the chair of the Education Committee. I think we're really lucky to have her, and I think she's going to do some really good work for us. And I built a relationship federally with our Rep Rashida Tlaib as well. And also I'm building one with, David Kniezek, our county commissioner, and our former commissioner, Glenn Anderson. It's funny because I coming from education, I'm learning who everybody is, but I think there's some value to that too, because it allows me to have kind of an open mind and be able to kind of have a fresh start, The longer I sense, the longer you're in this business, the more you have opportunities to make people mad at you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sometimes they say, if you're doing a good job, that's why they're mad at you, So you can take that either way, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. You can't make everybody happy.
Exactly. So. You never will. Anything else you wanted to cover while we're here? I don't see any more questions in there.
No, as I see it on the screen, I just want to say to the people in our neighborhood, I hired 2 really amazing staff members that I hope to bring to a council meeting soon and introduce them.
Yeah.
I have Kyle Zawicki's my legislative director. He's coming out of Darren Camilleri's office. And then I have Angela Osborne, who worked for Alex Garza as our constituent service director. And please reach out to us. the beauty is they already know how to migrate the unemployment system. They know a lot about the state benefits, and they can get people connected. And then I'll also throw out there, one of the things I can do now is I can give tributes and honor some of our local residents for some of the great work that they're doing. So please, if you have an idea for a tribute, reach out to us and we can get that signed by myself, the senator, and the governor. Because I think, that's something we've missed in this community for a little while, is just being able to honor the good work that people are doing. And I'm not everywhere, so I would need the help of the community to be aware.
Yeah, especially our volunteers, they need to be recognized too, because without volunteers, you wouldn't get anything done. Believe me.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And hope you're going to be a frequent visitor and come back anytime.
Yeah. And, feel free to give me a call if you have anything that you need answers to, and I'll shoot you some information when we have it. So.
All right. Sounds good,
All
sir.
right.
All right.
You take care. You both.
Thank you. All right. Once again, contact Dylan Wegela at 517-373-3818. That's his number. And you can email him at dylanwegela@house.michiganmi.gov. Yeah, that's a crazy email. All right. So what do you think, Mike?
He's got some good ideas. I'm kind of glad to see that they're going to start these monthly meetings with him and Senator Polanski.
Polanski, yeah.
Yeah, Polanski.
Yeah.
We used to have both the rep, the senator, and the county commissioner coming to these things.
Yeah. Yeah, they all need to come together. And
And
that's nice. They're utilizing local businesses and, go from one community to another as well, rotate. But yeah, I'm glad to see, they got the repeal the retirement tax on there and some others that are important. And at least it's on their radar. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can get something passed, right?
yeah, like I said, I get a private pension. I don't get a public pension. So I
Right.
hope that they're going to include both of those
Yeah, I
areas.
think I read that. I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that.
Right now, it just says public pensions.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll change that. We'll see. All right. The next city council meeting, Mike's going to be January 23rd, 7 p.m. in the council chambers located at 6,000 Middlebelt Road. These council meetings are a good way for you to get involved and voice any concerns that you may have as well. Like Michael Bingle, you need to get involved, come to a meeting and talk to the council about incentives, tax incentives. You say they don't listen, but maybe they'll listen to you. You step up to the mic and see what happens. Keep us posted. All right, let's get to community announcements, and then we'll close out the show from there. Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's bring this up right there. And let's do this.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be
the day.
Time for
you make
the announcement.
you say you're gonna leave.
Mike.
You know it's a lie.
that'll be the
day when I die.
All right. How you like your new banner there? Nice, huh?
Oh yeah, that's really good.
All right, there you go.
Garden City Senior Center Thrift Shop are open Mondays through Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they have a $2 bag sale every day. That includes only the clothing items located on the tables. Donations are accepted, however, from Mondays through Saturday. And they're still at the Maplewood Center, 31735 Maplewood in Garden City.
Okay.
Nankin Transit Commission. Fares are only $3 one way. It provides curb-to-curb transportation service for senior citizens, 55 and older, and disabled of any age. You picked up at your front door. You go anywhere within the 4 cities. I don't see the 4 cities listed. That Nankin services. To schedule a trip, call 734-729-2710 or visit their website, www.nankintransit.com. Their buses are equipped with wheelchair lifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $3 one way. I mean,
It's still kind of expensive. If you're investing in a senior tower and you got to spend $6 to go to a grocery store or a meeting or something like that, that's still a lot of money. Fortunately,
it is on a fixed.
There are groups and ways to help cut that cost.
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels, volunteers needed for the Garden City. Apply at the Maplewood Center, 31735 Maplewood Boulevard in Garden City, or call 734-793-7874. Meals on Wheels is on shaky grounds.
Real shaky ground. We may
if they don't get more volunteers.
Yeah.
We
lose it.
We could lose it. And there's people that really depend on this.
I know.
Garden City Public Library would like to announce their new board member, Barb Reddy.
Yeah, Barb was in there listening to the show. So congrats, Barb.
Yeah, she's a relatively new Kiwanian as well. And been going to the meetings from Parks and Rec. So hopefully we'll see her at the Parks and Rec meeting at the end of the month.
Yeah, she's been quite involved for quite a while over there at Maple.
Yeah.
Still looking for a member.
Yeah, we need one more new member. You have to be 60 years of age or older, cannot be on any other city committees, and must be a Garden City resident.
Right.
You can call Sharon Hassett, the outgoing chairperson, 313-570-0119, or Michael Jones, the new chairperson,
just
734-522-7158.
Right.
Garden City Parks and Recreation has their gift shop and cafe is now open at the Radcliffe Center.
Good coffee too.
Yeah, they have good coffee.
And we haven't been over there yet, but we're going to go.
Well, G and I went in there after the last meeting, and they have about, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so, maybe even more than that, different types of coffee selections that you can make. They're only $2.
Yeah.
They
got better than Starbucks.
Yeah.
Not cheaper.
Yeah. A lot of Garden City apparel and stuff that for sale.
Yeah.
Don Nicholson Enterprises will do business cards for $54 for 1,000, or postcards for $98 for 1,000, full color both sides.
Yep.
You can call or email now to 734-658-5296, or go to don@donnicholson.net. They have vinyl graphics, display signs, banners, auto lettering, plaques, web design, and more.
Yeah, Don does a good job. He did our 600th T-shirts that I'm wearing for us. Did a great job.
Neighborhood Watch is back. Second Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m. in the Garden City Police Department. Share with your neighbors. The next meeting will be February 14th.
Valentine's Day. Unless that changes, but that's what it is so far.
No, Valentine's Day will be on the 14th. Oh, you mean Neighborhood Watch?
Right. Yeah, that ain't going to change.
Okay, Tech Talk with Julie.
Next one's what, February, looks like.
Yeah. Her next class is February 6th. And she does take Thursday one-on-one appointments every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 734-793-1870. Julie can give you a lot of help on technical issues with computers, emails, cell phones, laptops, or any other tech issue.
Yeah, we had her on, I don't know, a month ago, and she did her good job. So, yeah, check that show out too. Julie Slayball, and she's doing those one-on-one appointments through April 27th of this year.
Karaoke. every Friday. Starts at 6:30. It's open to the public at the Notre Dame Lounge. Happy hour is 3 to 5 in the Notre Dame Hall on 3144 South Wayne Road in Wayne, Michigan. Party Animals Travel is pleased to announce 90 new tours for 22-23. Check out their website at www.partyanimal.4mydeals.com. They're open from Monday through Friday at 9:30 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 2.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Party Animals, we went to the Neil Diamond tribute show yesterday, Cheryl and I. That was very good at the Burton Manor.
Yeah. Show Me the Money. Here's another Notre Dame Hall one.
Yeah, they do a lot.
Every Wednesday, public is welcome. Donate 2 non-perishable items and get an extra set to play. There's a cash bar. Happy hours from 3 to 5. There's cash prizes. Starts at 7 p.m. Easy to play, easy to learn. There's new rules for this year. And that'll be at the Notre Dame Hall at 3144 South Wayne Road in Wayne.
Yep.
Mobile notary needed? Hey. Common notarizations that are available includes advanced directives, patient advocacy. I'm trying to read these small prints. Power of attorney.
Yep. Safe deposit box inventory.
Yeah.
Living trusts and wills.
And much more. Same day appointments are available. You call Shannon Coffey, who's our notary public that's been on our show.
Mm-hmm.
And you can contact her at Shannon at notarybabe.chan.com.
Yeah.
No, it's not .jan. Okay. Save the date. Dearborn Heights Parks and Recreation is having a fire and ice hockey event. There'll be kids games, fire breathers and eaters. It's going to be on this Saturday. Warming tent, ice sculptures, stilt walkers, live music, train rides, fire pits, s'mores, and much more at the Warren Valley Golf Course, 26116 West Warren Road in Dearborn Heights. This is a free family event.
Yeah, price is right.
Yes, it is. A frozen party, Saturday, January 21st from 1 to 3. Crafts, treats, and a very special guest. Call 734-793, is that 1830 for more information.
Yep. I believe that's going to be at the library.
Okay. Big comedy magic show is going to be at the Maplewood Community Center with Gordon Ruggs on January 29th. It's open to all ages, $5 for child, $2 for siblings, from 12 to 1 p.m. Craft Day, a spring theme door hanger, Saturday, February 4th, sponsored by Garden City Parks and Recreation. It's going to start at 11 o'clock, $6, all ages are welcome.
Radcliffe Center, yep. Cool. Boing, boing.
Boing, boing. New play coming up at Inspire Theater.
Yep.
Shows start February 10th and 11th, 17th and 18th, 24th and 25th. Those are the Friday and Saturday evening ones. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday and Sunday, the 2 o'clock shows are February 12th, 18th, 19th, 25th, and 26th. Tickets are $8. You can get them through inspiretheater.ticketleap.com, and they're located at 33455 Warren Road, Westland.
Yeah, great job they do over there.
Yep.
We're talking baseball.
Well, actually softball. Back to Westland. Registration is now open for girls fast pitch softball. For more information, email Lisa or visit their website at baseball@thewiaa.com.
Yeah, I want to congratulate Mike Landau. He is now the mayor of Westland. Took over for Mayor Wild.
Okay,
So congrats to him. We'll get him on the show very soon, hopefully.
good.
See how he's doing.
Okay, big game party, $10 entry with a buffet, a cash bar. Squares available until 6:30. Sunday, February 12th. Doors open at 5. It's another event at the Notre Dame Hall, 3144 Wayne Road.
Yeah, this is for the Super Bowl, February 12th.
Okay, auditions. Mel Brooks, the producers. This is their next musical. The auditions will be February 13th and 16th at 6 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
Scrapbooking. St. Simon's and Jude Church, 32500 Palmer Road on February 18th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. $35 a person for full day or $20 a person for a half day. Full day includes a light breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Half day includes a light breakfast, lunch, or later dinner. Snacks, beverages are welcome. Vendors available. Public is welcome. Pre-registration payments are made to St. Simon and Jude, 32500 Palmer Road, Westland.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a fun day.
Bingo says, don't forget the Red Wings or Vegas. Their game starts at 10.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do better than the Pistons did in Paris.
Yeah.
Another big loss.
I am a pain in the you-know-what. I don't give up easy. Yeah. You're like the Energizer Bunny. You keep going and going and going. He wants anybody that's listening to this, get a hold of Michael Bingle, and he would like a group to go to the next council meeting and talk about tax incentives and getting these empty buildings.
I wish him luck. I'm not going as part of this group, but I intend to be there.
So anybody that wants to go with Michael and meet him there, he would be more than happy to go up there and talk about it. But he wants a group of you to go with him. Okay.
Garden City Police versus Westland Police. Hockey game at the Garden City Ice Arena. It's going to be on February 25th at 7 o'clock p.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's another Notre Dame Hall. It's never too early to book your 2023 graduation.
Yeah.
Okay. Wayne Open Air Farmers and Artisans Market every Wednesday starting May 31st from 3 to 7 at the Notre Dame Hall, 3144 South Wayne Road in Wayne.
Yeah, we're getting a little later into the year now, so just put these on your calendar. We'll keep putting them up every week. This is August, so.
Okay. Real Love, a superstar evening featuring Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton tribute show. And
That's part
Thursday, August 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost is $89 at Burton Manor.
Yeah.
It's another party animal function. That's a good location for these things, is Burton Manor.
Yeah, John Murray's in there. He says that should be discussed at the town hall meeting when he has that, Jacobs. So we'll see. The tax incentives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, bring that up. There you go. Somebody has to do it. I've talked about it on this show and several times, so maybe you guys can get through to him. All right. You got anything else, Mike?
Yeah, I got some Kiwanis things.
Okay. What you got?
The Key Club is having an empty bowl banquet on February 16th at the high school cafeteria.
Okay. You want to explain what that is for those that don't know what that is?
Yeah, you come and I don't know, it's like $10 or $20, something like that. And you get a bowl, and the kids have made a variety of different soups and stuff, so you don't really go hungry, but the money goes to help deal with hunger issues.
Mm-hmm.
and they have salads and desserts there too. And
Are
they'll
these
have,
bowls that they made? The kids
what?
make these bowls?
yeah, the bowls have been made, I think, in the ceramics class. They've got baskets you can bid on, so there's a lot of ways to help contribute to that.
Okay. It's a good deal.
They're also having a Kids Against Hunger program on March 11th
Mm.
in the high school cafeteria, where we will be packaging up like 3,000 packets of food to be distributed to people in need of hunger. Some of those stay locally, some go statewide, and some go internationally, but a good percentage of them go to deal with hunger locally.
That's good. That's a good thing.
We've got 6th annual pig race
Yeah.
coming up on April 15th.
Chapmeister will be in there.
Yep. We have
Did you pay yet for it?
no, not
Okay.
yet.
Well, let me know, and then I'll get you your money.
Okay. What else did I want to mention? Oh, our evening meeting went so well in January that we're going to continue them every Monday or every month on the third Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
So we're going to have our next one in February on the 18th.
Okay. And what time?
7 o'clock. That'll be at the Optimus Hall.
7 o'clock at the Goodfellows there?
Goodfellows, yes.
Okay. And that's going to be the third Monday, or what is that? Third
Wednesday of every month, 7 o'clock.
Wednesday. Okay. All right. I got one here. The Garden City Senior Center is having that Valentine's Day bingo. Valentine's cupcakes, punch, and prizes will be there. Monday, February 13th, 1 o'clock to 2:30 at the Radcliffe Center. Space is limited, so you have to sign up early to sign up. You got to sign up. Oh, boy. It started January 16th. Okay. Sign up in person or by calling 734-793-1870. And that is a free event. And that's all I got.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I think I'm good at.
All right.
There were a few things in the monthly magazine that Don puts out, but I think we've covered them all.
Okay. All right. Once again, we're always looking for guests to be on the show. If you're interested or you know someone who might be interested, we'd love to hear from you. It's very easy. Just email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook. Or if you see us out and about in town, just come on up to us and tell us why you'd like to be on. We'd love to have you. Doesn't matter what community you live in. We want to hear from you. We are doing the shows remotely, so you can do them from the comfort of your home or office. Come on the show and share your information with us and the surrounding communities. Contact us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. And speaking of guests, mark your calendars for next week, January 26th, when we welcome Hassan Abdelazi. He is the owner of the Egyptian restaurant in Westland, just opened. He contacted us and would like to come on the show.
Where's his restaurant?
It's the only, it's called the Egyptian Kitchen Restaurant. And it's the only Egyptian restaurant in Wayne County and only the second one in the state.
Oh, yeah.
So mark your calendar. Should be a good, interesting show for you. And then we're working on a couple other things for later on. And with that said, Mike, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
Yes, podcast.
Yes. Special thanks to our guest, State Representative Dylan Wegela. Again, contact him at 517-373-3818. Also, big thanks to my fantastic co-hosts, meteorologist Dr. Tom Iwinski and Mike Jones. Great job as always. Mike, any final thoughts before we go?
Same as every week. Our hospitals are really bulging with patients, and we need to encourage everybody to get vaccinated for flu
Yep.
and the new COVID booster.
Right. And a real huge thanks to each and every one of you for sharing part of your time with us tonight and also over the years. Remember, without you, there wouldn't be a community chat show. Thank you very much. Also, this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook, so you can catch it at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late, by going to facebook.com/gcchat. And feel free to share the show with your friends as well. Also, catch us on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for GC Community Chat. You'll find not only this show, but all of our past shows as well. And remember to subscribe to that channel by clicking on the subscribe button. We appreciate that as well.
We want to put out a good wishes and continued get well progress for Kwani and Dave Cisnowski, who's now in physical therapy at Garden City Hospital. He's recovering from his incident. And also John Gibbons had a procedure this week, and he's recovering from that.
Yeah, our thoughts, prayers for them as well.
Yep.
All right. And we can't forget to thank all the healthcare workers. Speaking of hospitals, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. We be safe, and we want you to know that you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And when you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And please don't hesitate. Vaccinate. Get that booster and also get your flu shot.
Right.
Same time. Protect yourself and others. It's the right thing to do. Now, Mike, if you see something,
say something.
That's right. We got to look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to doppertimesweather.com. It's got a great website over there. A lot of good information. Also, Fire Chief Kathy Harmon mentioned, I forgot, Michael Milkovich had passed away. May he rest in peace.
Condolences to the family.
Yeah. So we don't want to forget about him. Also late tonight, David Crosby from Crosby, Sills and Nash died.
Right.
81 years old. Long illness he was battling. So
two-time inductee to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right. We will see you right back here next week. When? January 26th, 8 p.m. for show number 608 with our guest, Hassan Abdelaziz from the Egyptian Kitchen restaurant. So until then, we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to contact any of us here at the chat for any reason, once again, email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see more of, etc., etc. Thanks again for watching and all your comments. Had some great comments in there tonight. We appreciate it. Please have a safe rest of your week and have a great night. Mike, you take care, buddy.
Yeah.
See ya next week.
Okie dokie.